Yo, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be taking a look at our favorite time-traveling tank. It's Atlas. It's actually going to be my first video on him that I've made. I haven't made a video on him since he was released. I think now is a good time to, especially since he received a few nerfs in the Damned Frontier patch. Those being Beyond the Veil card being nerfed, and Second Chance now acting as a movement ability, meaning cripples can now affect it, such as Eevee, Ice Storm, Grover Cripple, Nara Totem Cripple. Those are all a few cripples in the game that kind of prevent him from using it, which I think is a pretty good change. It allows some counterplay to Second Chance. You can't just go in all willy-nilly and expect to get out for free as long as you press your Second Chance. Opponents, one thing that other teams used to do, which I think they still will do, is they would stun the Atlas when he's low, like about around the time when you want to Second Chance out and get to a safe spot and get to full HP again. Like a Makoa hooking when they were close to low HP and just stunning them and bursting them before they get second chance off was the only really way to stop an Atlas from getting their second chance off. But I think this opens up some more counterplay to it, which I think is a overall good change. I'm not sure I'm gonna like it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna rage whenever I get crippled and I can't get my second chance off. But overall, a really good change. I think it'll tone down Atlas a little bit, although I still think he is strong. And the other card being Beyond the Veil, this got nerfed pretty hard. It was 50% for 5 seconds at max level, now it's going to be 35% for 3 seconds. So what I want to talk about today is Atlas's decks. I haven't made a deck video on it either. I think with these changes, it opens up a lot of flexibility in what kind of cards you want to use. I think you can definitely get more value out of cards like Paradox, Lost Legacy, No One Escapes. These are all cards you can start running now since Beyond the Veil is not as strong. However, I will say if you are going to plan on running a Temporal Divide, I would still run Beyond the Veil. I think a coordinated play, having that movement speed for your entire team when you want to put the big wall up and push, just too good. It still allows you to reposition, and 35% for 3 seconds is no joke. That's still pretty much, I think it's the same as a Damba Pocket. So when Damba runs, let's see, Swift Spirits, I believe it's the same. So Spirits. Yep, so it's 35%. I believe, I don't know how long it lasts, but I'm sure it lasts a decent amount of time. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's still, not bad. It's not what it used to be. It's a card that went from pretty much running in every single Atlas deck to you can find situations where you don't need Beyond the Veil and you can run other cards, which is, the main purpose of this video. I want to look at some cards that you can run for Atlas without Beyond the Veil. But for a big wall deck, we are going to focus with Beyond the Veil. It's still good. I would still run it in all big wall decks. The other cards you want kind of depend. Would be like a standard Atlas deck that I would use. 5 points in HP and then 3 points in Lost Legacy. Lost Legacy just kind of gives you that extra healing. It's a good card. At 3, 4, 5 points, all really good. Just kind of gives you that extra sustain whenever your shield's up, and you can help out your healer by having this like supplemental healing. Especially if you've got like a character like Genos as your healer, you're not going to have that burst healing, so this just helps out a little bit, and it's a good card. You can always switch this out for a card like Paradox, which I usually have another deck set like this, just in case when I want extra second chance CD, and I don't really think that Lost Legacy is going to help me as much. Another card that I'd run for this 3-pointer is also Distant Memory. I think Distant Memory is a really good card. It gives you extra healing when you want to, when you have characters like Ying, Grover, and they're either ulting you or just pocketing you. It's really, really helpful, and your healer will definitely thank you for running it. You can always drop a point in this and add a point into here, which is not bad either, but I do like the max HP considering Atlas has a really, really low base HP. So this would be my ideal big wall deck. You obviously can switch this point out, like I said. We're going to go ahead and put this back on Lost Legacy. And now we can look for a Deja Vu deck. Deja Vu is a little less around the shield, more around your right click. One thing I do want to kind of mention is that I don't think Beyond the Veil is as necessary since your whole team is not going to be able to have that opportunity to run through it. I definitely think you can get away without using it. So we're going to try and go ahead and get a build going without it. That's kind of something I wanted to focus on. There's a ton of cards that you can start using now because of this. So of course we want old runes at 4 or 5 points. This is ideally what you want to go with. Anything lower kind of makes you really, really squishy. And we are going to look at Paradox and Lost Legacy. These are the two that I want to put points into. Continuum Shift is actually a really strong card. I was actually thinking about a fun build that you could do with Continuum Shift at level 5 points for 2 seconds further on your second chance. I'm not sure it's entirely worth, but it could be a fun build that I'm potentially going to try and test out later. For now, we're going to put that at 2 points. I like it at 2 points just because it kind of like makes your second chance stronger. You can go deeper without having to recall if you get lower and you don't want to. You're being really greedy and you want to be able to stay for an extra second or two. This just kind of helps you reposition yourself a little better. Allows for deeper dives. I used to run it at 1 point, but I think 2 points is acceptable, especially when you don't have to run points in Beyond the Veil. So I'm going to look at these 2 points. I'm going to both put these at 4 and 3. I think you can reduce this and put this at 4. That's not terrible. I actually do think I'm going to do this. I really like Lost Legacy and Paradox. They're both good cards. Paradox is more of a card that I don't run as often, but since we don't have to run Beyond the Veil, it'll be really nice to have in our deck. Another one we can go for, we could kind of go for more extra healing if we want. We don't have to run as many points in Paradox. We can look for more Distant Memory. Of course, we want Hell Hunter. Is a really good 1 point card. Just kind of helps you with your ammo. You're not always going to be hitting your shots, so having that, you know, extra ammo if you do is really nice. It lets you reload less. And for our last 1 pointer, we could just do Continuum Shift, which is another good card. This build is actually pretty nice, although these two cards don't synergize with each other. That actually made me wonder, you know, if Safe Haven would ever be good. Because Safe Haven is extremely similar to Distant Memory. I did test it. Safe Haven does synergize well with Lost Legacy, meaning you are going to get that extra % value from it. But the big thing you have to ask yourself when you look at these two cards is when you want that healing. Distant Memory gives you that healing whenever you're low, which is when you want it, and it's also all the time. So whenever you're low, you get that extra healing. Safe Haven is you get that extra healing no matter what HP you're at, but only when your shield's active, which is, I think, a total of 5 seconds. So that's the big difference between these two cards. Now there's only 1% difference, so I actually prefer Distant Memory over it. But it's a card that I wanted to tinker around with and make a fun healing build with Lost Legacy, and we'll maybe do that later. For now, we're going to put this at 4 points, and this is another deck that you can use without Lost Legacy, excuse me. Beyond the Veil. It's a ton of extra healing, and it just gives you more sustain and staying power, which is something that Atlas sometimes lacks. You have to be on the move constantly because you want your second chance spot to change. You also have really long CDs, which is why you have to get a ton of value out of both of them. But those are two decks that I really enjoy that I'm going to actually test out and see how they work. And hopefully we can get some good gameplay to go along with this deck talk. I think there's a few other cards that I wanted to talk about. I'm kind of like losing it off the top of my head, but I think I covered everything I wanted to. We could always just make a Beyond the Veil deck for Deja Vu. I think I would only run it at 4 points just because I want to save that extra point. 5 points is a lot, especially when you're running Deja Vu. The shield's not as big. You do get it up more often, which is actually might be a reason to run more points in Beyond the Veil. I'm not really sure. I'm going to try a deck with it at 5 points, and I'm going to pretty much run the same cards. Lost Legacy is a better card when you actually don't run Big Wall because you get more procs of it since it has a lower CD. And Old Runes, of course. So here's another pretty standard deck. But I just wanted to cover the changes that happened to Atlas. Beyond the Veil being nerfed, like I said, more flexibility in its decks, not as strong of a card. You don't have to run every single deck you want to use. Second chance nerf with cripples, I think it's a good change. It's going to be annoying getting crippled and not being able to second chance, just spamming your left shift, praying that you get it up, but it's a good change, and I think it allows more counterplay to Atlas, and we can hopefully see how he is in the meta. Hopefully he'll be a little weaker. One last thing, I am running a giveaway in my Discord. All you have to do is join, look at the Stream Pings channel, and add in reaction, and you're basically in the giveaway. You don't have to follow me or do anything. But it is going to be for 5 Damned Frontier Battle Passes, so if you guys are interested in that, the link will be in the description below, and we can get to the gameplay. So, traditionally, I think Stone Keep is a really good temporal divide map, just because you can go Keep, which is the right side of this map, and you can just big wall for your entire team. You can push through with it, you can sit behind it. It just allows so much space for your team, and also you're also helping the other side of the map. So, overall, temporal divide probably your best legendary on this map, but since looking at their characters, and you know, it is just a pub, I do want to try Deja Vu out, especially with a new build where I don't have Beyond the Veil in it. So I am thinking, since I do have Genos, I probably want a little more Lost Legacy than I do Distant Memory. Distant Memory is better with, you know, burst healers that can help you get back up to full HP. Lost Legacy kind of supplements Genos healing. Doesn't have to heal me as much. Hopefully that'll help him out. Keep our team sustained as well. I also think Deja could potentially be really good here, just because they're damage characters. None of them really have dashes that get them out of my lob. They have really slow movement. So hopefully we can catch people out with it. Oh, he's weak. I don't know if that's gonna work. I can't chase that. See if we can drop. Let's drop here, put my shield down. That's a messed up lob. I'm gonna have to hide from this Vivian. I do have heals, so I should be able to stay alive. That's a good shield too. I'm gonna have to recall here. Let's see if we can keep my lob up. Oh no, I don't know how that did miss. I can shield this, still stay alive. I'm gonna have to go for touch soon. I'm gonna drop down. Just gonna lob this to make sure I stay alive. I'm gonna have to rewind again. I don't think I'm gonna be out. I think I'm probably dead here. Let's see if we can just stay alive. I'm not gonna be able to get touch, which is tragic. Unlucky. So that was pretty rough. We couldn't really kill anyone there. I think our team played a little weird, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So we actually lived like a lot longer there, just because we had our shield up more often. We had gone big wall. I'm gonna play on the right here. Just take a different angle for my team. I think someone's going on high ground as well. I'm just gonna go and flank this Victor. Wall here, so he can't do anything. He has to run. Oh, he moved. Rip. It's a bad spot for me. I'm gonna have to fall out of that. Oh, rip. That's so tragic, dude. He got 2 of them off before I could freeze him. I'm not really sure where my team was at. I think they're just flanking around fire, which is not terrible. We need to control the right side high ground, which is way more important. Might have to play more towards card just because we have a Tor, but we have a pretty wacky comp going on here. See if we can stop card right here. Just I'll do some poke damage to the healer. See if we can lob that. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that hit on him. Just gonna take a little more damage here and then go ahead and recall. Put me back on high ground. I can help with this Drogue or the Victor now. There's one. Already a Victor, everyone. That is a dumb shield, so I'm gonna have to play pretty slow. I think Vivian's on high ground as well. I have to be careful not to peek that. She does a lot of damage. Ah, couldn't get her. Rip. Keep pushing up now. I believe that was everyone on their team dead. Just gonna shield for our emoji here. See if we can get a lob going. Uh-oh, it's not good. I'm gonna have to recall. I'm in a kind of a bad spot. We gotta kill Vivian. Viv's dead. We can look at the Victor now. Gonna wall this. That was a good shield. Block my lob. I can just keep pushing though. That was good movement speed for our Torvald. Shoot the toes. It's always a good tip against Vivian. I'm pretty sure when you lob Vivian, if you can get it behind her shield, it actually like resets her shield. So like her shield will go down instantly. That's a nice little tip. It also works with Makoa as well. If you Makoa hook her under her feet, it just completely gets rid of the shield. I'm not really sure what happened last mid. I got kind of distracted just poking their backline out. I didn't really achieve anything. I'm gonna try going right side maybe. That might help our team out a little more. I haven't really gotten too much value out of the lob either. They've actually just been running away from me whenever they see me. So maybe I gotta throw my lobs out a little earlier. I'm not really sure. They also got a ton of cap time with Barrick, so we probably have to stop him from just sitting on the objective. But overall, I'm liking the build a lot. I feel like I always have my CDs up, and I'm getting a ton of extra healing. Just gonna lob him. I should put him further back. Please, I throw Victor there. I'm just gonna freeze him again. Need to back up actually. It's not a good spot for me. I can lob him. He has no dash when he comes up. Wasn't sure if I was actually going to be able to kill him there with one shot, so I decided to go for the full charge just to get ammo back. Just gonna set him back. I can push up now. Just tank 2 and then I'll rewind. I can still peek here. I'm just gonna lob Vivian back. Then we can keep pushing. I lobbed her back there. I just didn't want to take that much damage. There was 3 damage dealers like right in front of me. That's a ton of damage. Just don't want to be tanking all that all at once. That's a decent fear. It stopped me from pushing the barrack. I'm gonna shield it for our emoji, make sure she gets out alive, and then just keep looking for poke damage. See if we can get a deep angle here. I might have to go high ground actually. A shield helps me live. Claps on the Victor team. I'll lob him back to you guys. No one's gonna turn around for him. There's a Victor on the loose. There's still a Victor behind. He's just running. Just gonna stall for our drug. Just wanna make sure he stays alive. Just get in their faces, stop them from doing anything. I do have to live myself though. Oh, this is a terrible spot. Oh, let's get Torvald. Good peel. Good shield. We might be able to live. Oh, so close. Like one more second and we would have gotten my shield off. I am gonna go Kotler here. It would have been nice to get Resi 2, but the Victor cardio is like actually nuts. It's making him live a lot longer than he should. I'm gonna come high ground here. Yeah, unless there's a Lex right here. Oh no. That sucks. That was just a bad lob by my. I'm gonna go help push high ground. Is Barrack's turret down? That's nade as well. Just gonna go ahead and lob him. Should put him in a pretty bad spot. Nice. Now we get to push high ground out. I'm taking a bit of poke damage from Barrack. Shouldn't be that bad.
15 seconds remaining.
Bad lob by me. No biggie.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Alright, it's not bad. It was definitely a lot easier once we went high ground. We could push the Victor out, make sure they didn't just stay up there and pelt my team from behind. None of them, I think actually, pretty big tip for Atlas is making sure you pay attention to who has Rezel and who doesn't. Rezel affects a lot of your CDs. It affects your lob, it affects your ult. So knowing those timings definitely helps, especially like, for instance, when you ult someone, you want to set up the charge shot on them, or just be ready to shoot them whenever that banish like unlocks them. Rezel changes the timing on that, so you always have to be kind of aware of that. It also changes how far you lob them. So you could kind of get confused and sometimes over predict where they're going or under predict just based on not knowing they have resilience. So always pay attention to the resiliences. Like this Lex has full resil, which means my lob banishes aren't going to be working on him that well. All I can really use it for is a short CC. I wonder how far that'll lob him back. Not at all. Even on mount. I gotta rewind so I don't get hit by that. I don't have any movement speed or CDs, which is really tragic. I'm gonna have to fully just kite this on my own. Oh, unlucky. That fear was really good. I wanted to try and see if that lob would actually do anything to them, just because he was on mount, but 90% apparently just doesn't let him move at all. But it's good to know that even on mount it doesn't do anything. All you can really use it for is that short C, like right there. That's all you get to use it for. Tiny amount of CC. I'm gonna take their high ground. I'm kind of far from my Genos. Oh, he's getting pushed actually. If we can help him. Nice. Good peel by our emoji. gonna hold church. Shield. So much healing. I'm just gonna rotate high ground. I can get a good advantage from here, hopefully. Then we're gonna look at the Vivian first. Dama next. I'm gonna have to actually just leave, I think. It's a lot of damage. I'm gonna go ahead and reset high ground here. Actually, I gotta try and trade with this Lex. Oh, come here, Damba. Gonna have him just collapse with his barrack. I don't have lob for him, which is kind of sad. I could have maybe caught him out there. This is unlucky. I'm gonna have to turn around. Oh, nice peel by our team. Lex ult down. Victor is on high ground. See if I can get that Damba there. I got him, but he's out of my sight line. I do have shields, so I can push up here. I'm gonna try and rotate left. See if I can get her shield. Nice. Oh, we're getting a really good zone here. We're stalling so much time. They can't even get the cart. That shield is kind of annoying. I don't have any wrecker. I should have gotten both of them. Dama is also there. Oh, he does. Just gonna keep kiting this way, stall as much time as possible, and then go ahead and rewind out. Bring it back the other way. Hopefully I can get out. If I had shield there, it would have been a little nicer. I'm gonna go ahead and wall this. I should have canceled his ult as well. See if I can kill him. I want the credits. Nice.
Okay. You rock.
He did not get resilience at all. The only really smart one is the Lex. My lobs are still going to get full value against the rest of their team. What do we want to buy here? We have full caught. RuBBu would not be bad, especially with General Seals. It kind of helps us sustain. I don't think we're having that big of a deal sustaining, though. I think another issue is the fear. We got feared pretty early on in that fight, and it definitely turned it around for us, or for them, I should say. I think just Resi 2, RuBBu 1 might be the best play. Another good pickup is Haven, considering every single one of them has Haven damage other than Damba. Damba's like Gourd, and that's pretty much it. Gourd, Nade, I think of the two, and I guess Vivian drones are kind of explosive damage. We're gonna go left here. We can get a pretty good banish from top keep. I think I'm actually just gonna look for it early. It's not gonna freeze him at all. Keep freezing him. Oh, I couldn't get the last one off. Wow. It's kind of a bad wall. I kind of put that down to run through, but I forgot that I'm not running move speed. Just gonna hold this spot right here, make sure we get camp time. I guess I'll live by him. I gotta wait for his Slater before I come out. Push him. I'm just gonna wall this, make sure I can peek here. Gonna second chance this, hopefully I can get out. So Resi 2, baby! Look how much time we're stalling. I can't kill either of them though, they're just getting pocketed. I'm gonna have to back up here. Oh my god, I misplayed. I could've lived there. I just had a shield, I got a little greedy. Went for too much damage. That was a really good stall by us. If I had... I think I had to save my lob there until the Damba used his dash so I could lock him down. He kept messing that up, so he had really good escapes. I have the Damba. I'm gonna have to lob. I think I have to rewind here. Oh my god, that burst. Oh, that's unlucky. We just misplayed a little bit. It's unlucky. No worries though. At least this game's kind of close. I think we're more so messing up than they are. Okay, I just right clicked there, but nothing happened. Let's see if we can get a Vic. I think he's going high ground. Oh, bad lob. Just gonna ignore me. Oh no, I just walled there too. What's going on? It's like a weird delay. Let me go ahead and push up here. They're down 2 people. Just gonna shield here and make sure we have some sustain. Shield's actually doing a decent job of blocking my lob. Victor being a keep is definitely bad news for us. Gonna wall here. As long as we look at this Victor and keep rushing him out, he shouldn't be able to help him too much. Oh, good shield. Stops my lob. I could dodge the fear there. Don't think our generalist is gonna be able to get out. Yeah, just rotate over here. Shield for our team. Spirit doesn't really know what to do. Turret blocked my lob. That's broken. He's no beats. I think he has failsafe up, so we gotta be ready for that. Oh, Mergy just bursted him, so we didn't have to worry about failsafe. Go ahead and start looking for dismounts.
30 seconds remaining.
Just wall this again. I should be able to force the shield TD out, which is what I wanted. I should just leave that though. Gonna have to drop down, I think. Don't want to take too much poke.
15 seconds remaining. Be careful.
We're kind of a bad spot here. We need to make sure we get to cover.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Wall here.
2, 1.
Oh, I messed that up. That turret kind of body blocked me. Turn my attention to cap. Alright. We could have won that last point, but it's no biggie. We just kind of made a little tiny mistake here. You do have to remember that, you know, your shot kind of has an animation. Doesn't let you use your abilities right away. You just gotta be kind of play smart about that. I definitely should have shielded instead of shooting one more time. I would have gotten my heal up. Which I have to kind of remind myself that I have a really good shield. My shield's like nuts in this game. Nobody can break it. It's giving me an insane amount of healing. Let's see. For buys, we don't need anything more than Resi 2. We can look for Haven 2 is actually really good. I actually think it's probably better than Rejuve 3 there.
3, 2.
Go with that. I'm gonna go right side this time. I'm gonna play it slow. None of them have Resil still. They have a lot more Haven though, so I do less damage. Tank Victor, dude. He already knows. Let's push her out to the barrack here. That shield's gonna be an issue. Hopefully our drug can clean that up. Just gonna be looking at other targets, especially the Vivian, if we can get her. Then we get like a barrack. Oh, good. That's nuts. He is gonna slow there, I think. I'm just gonna wall this, make sure he can. Nobody shoots at me while I chase this. Gonna have to rewind here. Let's see if we can get to a safe spot. I can start looking for my ult. Let's get the healing up. I think we should be able to get the capture as long as no one's behind. Nice. That deck actually feels really good. I think the 2 seconds, while it doesn't seem like a lot on Paradox, it does help you get, you know, your second chances off. I don't think there's any times though where I was like gonna die, but if my Paradox wasn't up like 2 seconds, I don't know. The 2 seconds definitely helps. I definitely noticed it. I felt like it was always up whenever I needed it. That was a pretty fun game. Without the Beyond the Veil, it didn't seem too bad. It did feel like a few times where when I was chasing that Damba, if I had that move speed, it probably would have helped me. Would have made it a lot easier. That was a pretty fun game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.